Good afternoon, and welcome to Video Conferencing, the new meeting room. I'm Vicki Nutter, and this is Education 730. We're going to look at why video conferencing is so important in the 21st century, especially in our rural areas. So as educators, we're used to coming together and sitting around the table to problem solve, brainstorm, collaborate, network, what have you. Each of us brings to the table a different puzzle of the big picture. Our talents, our skills, our life experiences, years on the job qualify us to sit at the table. But in this day and age, when an administrator leaves the building, there are liability questions. Paying mileage to travel to the meeting across town or an hour or so away becomes very costly. So video conferencing helps us to better use our resources and better manage our time. So let's take a look at the good old days, traditional setting, and our new technology setting. In the traditional setting, we've all sat there, these narrow tables and the very uncomfortable chairs, raising our hand to questions we're not quite sure we actually heard because we had drifted off many moments prior to the question. In this picture, I surmise that the question they're all responding to is, would you like to go home? In the other picture, we see engagement, we see technology, people are listening, they're contributing, they're collaborating. And also with video conferencing, we're able to still meet in a small group and have others visit us through technology. Excuse me, so it's the best of both worlds. So let's look at pros and cons. Why are we video conferencing? Well, attendees may be able to attend without leaving the office, and that's very attractive when it comes to an administrator leaving a school. When principals are not in the building, teachers tend to be less productive and students tend to be more mischievous. Attendees are also more attentive and actively engaged in the activity because they're listening, they're using visuals, and they're also working through the technology, so they're fully engaged. Also, we can record the meetings in case someone wasn't able to be in the physical meeting or in a video conferencing part of the meeting. We can revisit it, pull it out again for another training and so forth. And also networking in the 21st century is a perfect way to use video conferencing. Of course, there are cons. Technology has to be current. Our infrastructure has to be on mark. We have to know how to use the equipment. We have to be willing to change. And I ran into a teacher in his early 50s not long ago, and he refused to even have a smart TV in his room. There's no logic there. So how do we prepare for a video conference? Well, first of all, we have to check and make sure that the technology specialist excuse me, has been to the building and that all the equipment is running correctly. The infrastructure can handle the processes that we're going to request of it. And we have to let our secretaries know that we're blocking off this amount of time because we're going to be in a video conference. We have to also attend training so that we understand how to use the equipment and the programs that we're going to be utilizing. So once we're ready for the conference, we accept the invitation, join the group. Usually these instructions come to us through an email. We follow the instructions. They're very plain, very clear and concise. Enter the meeting, and then follow the prompts. Once we have done this, then we're able to join the group and participate in the meeting. We'll be able to see the visuals, PowerPoint, or what have you, and hear others as they're discussing their concerns as well. Sometimes you'll have a place where you can chat as well as provide questions that the presenter will address as the questions come to the presenter through the technology. So video conferencing is very important, especially in rural areas. Saves money, saves time, and it just makes a better use of our resources. So professionally, video conferencing is a positive. Great day.